This is Adam Gorney, the National Recruiting Director at Rivals, here with National Recruiting Analyst Ryan Wright. In a busy day for signing day, obviously in the Southeast, and Georgia had some hits or misses during the day, which is kind of rare for them. Usually, they just completely dominate. But in Florida, they cleaned house. Jaheim Singletary goes to Georgia, the number one player in the state. Bear Alexander, the number two player in the state, sticks with Georgia, and Marvin Jones picks Georgia over Alabama. Ryan? What do you think that just says about Georgia's ability to go in there and really just get anybody?
Yeah, it looks that way. I know there's a couple of guys that they started recruiting late in the process, and it was just that Georgia power, how good they are, where they were considering them. So yeah, with Bear leaving Texas, I think that gave him that opportunity playing at IMG to go ahead and go to Georgia. Really big win out of there. Singletary is fantastic. Was surprised with Marvin Jones. I know he had a great official visit to Georgia. There was talk that he may be going to Alabama, and with his teammate Earl Little going to Alabama. I talked to Marvin before. He said they weren't a package deal, but back of your mind, you're just kind of wondering if they're going to go to the same place or not. So, yeah, there were some surprises, but Georgia just completely dominated the state of Florida, and what happened with the Gators, what happened with Miami had a lot to do with that, and kind of makes you wonder where Florida State's at in this mix.
Yeah, what's incredible is Georgia loses their defensive coordinator to become Dan Lanning becomes Oregon's head coach, and still they clean up with the top three defensive players, top three players in the state. One guy they didn't get though was Kamari Wilson, which is surprising. I mean, Florida came in late. That he had a late visit there. He really likes the new coaching staff and all that. But I mean, for at least half a year, if not longer, Georgia was the team to beat there. He signs with Florida, a big early win for Billy Napier. What do you think that says about this Florida staff and the job they're going to do? And Kamari Wilson going to the Gators, what does that mean?
Yeah, him and Devin Moore, right? So that DBU moniker keeps going. So, I'm not sure of their connection or relationship as friends, but you have to think that they've been talking and can keep things going there. Yeah, I mean, that's with Napier, he's got the pedigree out of Alabama. His guys at Louisiana, they were tough in the trenches. So he has that kind of SEC mentality already. And I believe he knows how to recruit the guys in Florida throughout the Southeast. And that really shows with what he did with Kamari Wilson in such short time.
Yeah, it's no secret. Florida State had a bad day. There's just no way to parse that. It just happened. But Azariah Thomas did end up at Florida State, which maybe a few weeks ago was not really even expected. His brother played at Georgia Tech. A lot of people thought he was going to end up at Georgia Tech. Oklahoma, LSU, Florida were all involved at some point. He takes a late visit to Florida State. They consistently recruited him. He is a nice, long, athletic, rangy defensive back safety type who could also maybe play corner at 6'3". Were you surprised that he picked Florida State, and kind of what was kind of the reading on the tea leaves there in the last couple of days?
Yeah, Florida State is one of those programs right now where they seem really, really close. And, they started off the 2021 season against Notre Dame, had a great showing, kind of had a rough patch there, which may have hurt them, but they are a team on the rise. They had a winning streak going. So I think kind of what we saw with Clemson maybe 10 years ago, where they're just a couple of pieces away and they just kind of need to prove it a few more times to get everybody, because they're really close. As you mentioned, Travis Hunter leaving and stuff like that didn't help. But yeah, Thomas is a fantastic athlete. I think I made the kind of the written joke in his commitment breakdown that I wonder what the coaches' meetings were like with the offense wanting him and the defense and how that worked out. Because I would have to think it got heated even if it was friendly. But yeah, he's fantastic talent. He could have written his ticket anywhere he wanted to. So it's tremendous to pick up for Florida State.
And the last guy, and we didn't really even talk about him a lot today just because so much was going on at the top of the state and with Travis Hunter dominating the news and all that kind of stuff. But Nigel Kelly going to Miami, former Florida State commit, stays home and plays for Mario Cristobal. Cristobal made him a huge priority once he took that job, a 6'5", 240-pound defensive end, long, athletic edge rusher. For him to stay in Miami, what does that mean for Mario? And does South Florida need to be owned by Miami again for them to become nationally prominent?
Oh, 100% they have to own it. You go back to Miami, even when they were in the ACC, recruited outside their area, but the basis of how good they were, going back to the 80s with Jimmy Johnson, it was all those South Florida guys, right? So athletic, fantastic. So Mario being from South Florida, he knows that, right? So Coach Cristobal will he'll get back and get those guys. He has a legacy there. Even with FIU. So he's recruited the area, knows the coaches, everybody knows him, recruited him with Alabama, and he was recruiting nationally with Oregon. So he knows the importance of that talent pipeline in South Florida. And I think he will get back to that. A lot of guys have been talking about how hard he's been hitting the recruiting trail and liking his pitch and talking to him. I think they're just still maybe a little unsure right now, kind of like with Florida State. Want to kind of see what happens and look for 2023. I think he'll have a big recruiting class.
Okay, that's it from signing day. That is national recruiting analyst Ryan Wright with Adam Gorney for Rivals.com.